Are you confused as to what is happiness? Are you confused as to what is leadership? Are you confused as to what is the key for success? So, if you're confused, this podcast is 100% for you. Hi everyone, I'm Kriti Shastri and you are listening to the Core Conscious podcast with me. And today's discussion is very interesting. It is about happiness, it is about leadership, it is about success. And can you guess who's with me for today's podcast? Can you guess? Okay, fine. I'll give you clues. She's head of Mind Valley Customer Relations. She is one of the happiness coaches that I believe outstanding in her work, and she's author of happiness programs, and she loves the color yellow. So if you can guess by this time, whom am I talking about? Yes, it's none other than GRETA KESA. I welcome you, GRETA, here today on my show.
Thank you, Kriti. It's my honor to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you so much for, even though we have time differences and still we somehow managed for this podcast. So you're coordinating the times was a little difficult, but then you managed it. And yeah. So let's move on. What we are going to discuss today, because we all are confused as to what is happiness, what is success, what is true leadership. And the focal point is about we are actually not able to figure out what truly it is, and hence we kind of jumble up or mix up those things, and then we find one fine day when I'll become successful, I'll be happy. So this is what we believe in, and this is why we are here today. And with GRETA, she'll be discussing the various things about happiness, various things about success, and various things about what is true leadership. So, yes, GRETA, thank you so much. So, let me just, before I go into the questions, let me just ask you, why is your color, the yellow color, your favorite color?
Well, when you just have something you love, it's very hard to explain rationally.
Yeah.
But I do believe like yellow color represents brightness, optimism, light. Sun is yellow, sunflowers are yellow, and I do believe that sometimes in this world when we see bright colors, it can brighten up our days. So I don't know. I just felt like this color is mine, and then just somehow I started having a lot of things that are in yellow, like my phone case, my picture frame. Like if I look around, there are so many things that I have that are in yellow. They just simply are reminders for me, to choose me and to choose happiness.
Yeah, I think it's like small reminder to you that whatever it is going on, bad, good, whatever it is, but then you have to, you're automatically happy seeing these colors.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
So
true.
it just gives you a space. I mean, to think, okay, fine. So we have a great day today.
Definitely. What is your favorite color, Kriti?
Oh, my favorite color. Well, there are many, but one of them is golden.
I can tell.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. So, GRETA, before we go into the happiness thing, there's one question that I have. That is, how did you find out that, coaching, programming, this is what you love, this is what your core is, and this is where you belong? So, was this finding out journey a little bit difficult, or was it very easy? It just happened on its way?
I think it more happened. I was not forcing it. I'm very blessed. I think that in my life I didn't feel too much pressure of doing whatever, let's say, my parents are telling me to do. They just wanted me to graduate from university and finish some kind of proper studies, as they would say. But what I'm gonna do next, they didn't really interfere. And I had a playground to explore when I was a student, right? Because this is where more than 10 years ago I joined ISOC organization.
Yes.
And there I was just trying things. I was just trying. And somehow, I learned something, and I was asked to deliver a session for my team and then for my committee. And then I started going to international sessions, and I'm like, wow, I love it. And then I became president of the all local chapter. I was like, I love talking to people. And this simply came just by doing and by discovering what I like, what I don't like.
Yeah.
So when people say, I just don't know what I want to do, I'm like, just try many things and see what you like.
Yeah.
And, there's
Just
no secret, just try.
yeah, just keep on trying, and you don't know what clicks. And something which clicks, you won't feel it like it's a work. You'll feel wow,
Yeah,
it's a great thing to do.
exactly. It's like a flow.
Right. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, apart from all this, as you said, you were also a part of Isaac and other things. Right now, what I understand is you're head of customer relations, Mind Valley. You are also working on your own happiness programs. You are also a part of Isaac, and you have your own family life as well. So, how do you manage?
Yeah. Well, now I'm not part of ISEC.
Okay.
I finished my ISEC experience maybe 6 years ago. I just sometimes, participate in conferences or give some talks. But in your what you described, everything is correct. But I'm also Zumba instructor, so
Oh
I
yeah,
lead
yeah,
Zumba
yeah.
lessons.
I'm so sorry. I just forgot. You are a certified Zumba licensed Zumba instructor. Yeah. Someday
Yeah,
I
no
will
worries.
I
And
will take session from you someday.
let's do that. Let's do that. And I didn't mention it just to say like, oh, you didn't mention this, but yeah, there are many different things that I do.
Yeah.
And all of them actually are connected because
Yeah.
all of them are delivering experiences for people.
Yeah.
And this is what fulfills me. This is what inspires me when I can see the shift, the change. Either it would be in Zumba classes, sweaty faces, but smiley faces. They're like, what a good workout. I loved it. I was laughing. Or maybe it's a group coaching session, right? Where people are saying, oh my God, so many breakthroughs. Or maybe it's something about customers in Mind Valley where
Uh-huh.
I know that I'm taking care and I'm trying to,
Yes.
to have seamless experience. So even though they seem to be different, they all are around people. And, seeing the change in people gives me energy. And well, then it's time management. My
Yeah.
husband wasn't always happy with my activities, but now I learned to rest more and work less. So that's work in progress.
Okay, that is work in progress, right? But have you been very not happy about you getting into so much of work and have no time at home? I mean, yeah, there are times like in my life also there is a time like it happened. So how do we manage it?
Yeah, I think now with pandemic, I'm always home, right? So
Ah,
even if we have like quick coffee break or something, or we just go for a walk downstairs for just 10 minutes, we're always together, right? 24/7. And before that, there were days where I could have come back home, very late because I would have a lot of activities. And I wouldn't say he was against or something, but he was more worried about my
my
health
health.
and
Sorry,
my,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, my well-being. That like, aren't you working too much? Aren't you stressing out? But I think we both established that, we want to be together and have this union because we respect each other as individuals and we
right,
want ourselves to go those ways.
right.
And of course, to have together time, right? It's not like I
Yes,
was
of
always
course, of
working,
course.
but yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think we learn in the journey as well. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's everyday journey. You know how they say happily ever after marriage? There is no happily ever after. You have to work in it
Exactly.
every day. And in fairy tales, they
Exactly.
don't show. They don't show it. Why? It's every single
Exactly.
day.
Exactly. I second your opinion completely, Greta. I mean, it's work every day.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So let's come to talk about happiness now. What is basically happiness, Greta? What is happiness?
And this is the tricky part, I would say. It might seem like me being a happiness coach, I should have this, answer right away.
Yeah.
But this is a question where I think the most, and to be honest, I don't even want to give an answer. I can tell you what happiness is for me, right?
Right.
But I don't think I have a right to tell what happiness is for everyone. If
Right.
if we're thinking in a broad perspective, I would say it's this inner feeling of
Mm-hmm.
contentment and inner
Right.
peace that you
Right.
are carrying with yourself every single day. But
Right.
what exactly is that for you? I think that's why That's why I do that coaching, right? That's why I have those programs, because my
Right.
goal is not to teach people happiness, but to
But
facilitate the
date.
way
Yeah.
for them to
And
find out.
and everyone's happiness is different, some might find happiness is something else, some might find happiness in something else. So you can't just define it in, you can't put it in boxes. But I think with time, everyone kind of finds out what makes them happy, what gives them contentment, and
Hope
how,
so.
yeah, and how they are like, okay, fine, I'm great, I'm doing great with it. No matter what others are saying about it, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us something, is success dependent upon happiness, or happiness dependent upon success? I mean, what is it?
Yeah. I think our society, right, and what we see on social media, and also our culture, our parents, everything where we grow up, this culture scape, is saying that when you're successful publicly, right, then you're
Right.
happy. And we all
Right.
are chasing this, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when I finish university, I'll be happy when I have a good job, I'll be happy when I get married, I'll be happy when I have kids, and like a lot of
Yeah.
conditions.
Don't forget the house. I'll be happy when I have
House.
a house. I'll be
Yes,
happy when I have a car.
that is true. That is true, right? And I do believe, like, everyone who is listening to this podcast, and you yourself, Kriti, you can just think, what was the last time when you said, I'll be happy when? You kind of conditioned your happiness, and then you got what you wanted. How long did that
Right.
happiness last?
Barely for seconds, maybe.
Exactly. I was asking a lot of like my program and workshop participants, and it would last from no happiness at all, even when you get it, to maybe maximum
Yes.
few hours. And we still believe that success equals happiness, But what about we turn it, as you said? What about happiness
Yes.
equals success? What if when I'm
Yes.
truly happy inside, this is when I'm successful? Because there is a difference between looking successful, right, from the outside,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
feeling like you're like
So,
that.
right. It is said that it should not be seen to be done, but it should be done.
Yeah.
Right. So looking from the outward side, anyone can say, "Oh, that's a very happy couple. Oh, that person is very successful. He'll be happy." But then you don't know what actually that person is going through.
Yeah, you don't know at all, right? And this like, especially with social media being so active, people show what they want to show. You know,
Right.
they just choose what they want to show, because
Right.
they're not showing bad moments or hard moments. Some do, but not everything.
Some do.
And then we paint
Right.
this picture that, oh, okay, they have
Oh,
everything perfect and the relationship is perfect and mine is not. And this is comparison, of that success factor. So
yeah.
I'd rather chase happiness, but that's just my input.
Yeah. Same here. I would also believe in the same string. Like, being happy is more important than, achieving a lot of things in your life, which you might achieve also, but then that might not be the source of happiness for you. That can be a source of comfort or luxury for you, but not happiness.
That's true.
Right. So, do you think, Greta, like, sometimes we feel that, the more the person is spiritually inclined, the more the person is, go for meditation, and the more the person is, doing all those morning rituals, that person is tend to become more happier. I mean, is it some kind of a relation with, meditations, spirituality, and morning rituals?
Actually, I do believe that when we stop for a moment and pause in this busy, busy world and only running, it's good, because then we start noticing ourselves. When the possibilities are that we're just doing, doing, doing all the time, we don't even notice beautiful things. And I think spiritual practices or
Right.
morning routines, as you said, right, meditation, yoga, or any other things, they help us to really go within and rediscover what's inside. At the same time,
Right.
I'm thinking, when I'm looking, let's say, at my grandparents, right? They are not so
Okay.
into like hustle, work, social media, and they
Right.
don't need to meditate to be happy. They simply are slowly walking in
Right.
nature. When they go to the grocery store, they just walk there and they look at the environment. While us, what we do, we walk
Right.
like that all the time,
We are
right? So,
exactly,
so when
exactly.
our mind can rest, we don't have the time to rest. And that's why I think it's so crucial for a nowadays person to mindfully choose those
Right.
practices to stop at least a bit, to force itself to stop. Because people before,
Right.
they were just naturally, taking that time. We have to schedule
Right.
it.
Right. And yes, and that's the worst part. Unfortunately, we have to schedule those part in our lives. And they used to do it, even my grandparents, I believe, they used to go for a walk outside in the evening after dinner, maybe, and, in the morning as well. And that was a natural part of their schedule. They did not need to schedule it. It happened,
Yeah.
occurred rather very normally. Yeah, that was a nice point. And because we people are so much into social media, I mean, sometimes always on the phone. While people are eating, they are on phone. While people are talking, they are, I mean, busy working, thinking about something, but then also they are on phone. So it's like always on phone. Yeah. So I think yes. So let's conclude it. Yes.
Mindful practices and possibilities to pause, I think definitely contributes to happiness.
Right. Right. So, can you tell me why, happiness and is it related somewhere to the growth mindset? Like, if we have a growth mindset, we'll be happy, something like this? Like,
I wouldn't want to say like happy and unhappy. Maybe I would say happier, you know, like from
yeah,
that perspective, because I do believe everyone is happy at their own level. Either it's 1 or 10.
right,
I do believe that
right,
growth mindset helps because with growth mindset you're able to look at challenges or problems or even feedback for different lands. You look at that
right.
and the world and you're like, okay, what can I learn? I want to grow. That's okay. I'm
Yes.
curious. While fixed mindset, it's more like this have to be my way, and if it's not, it's bad. And then
And then your day goes bad and you feel like, oh, wow,
exactly. And then we
why?
say we had a
Why me?
bad day when maybe we had like just bad 1 hour or 10 minutes, right? And we just decided it's horrible, even
Yes.
though it wasn't. That was just one incident.
Right. We kind of tend of thinking that way, like one thing had gone wrong, so the second thing might also go wrong, and then the third thing. So it just, it's out of the growth mindset. I mean, if you're in a growth mindset, you'll not be thinking like this. But if you're not in that phase and you're like, okay, one incident happened, fine, cool, no problem. Next incident, I'll not let anything wrong go happen in the rest of the day. Like that is how you have to think, I think. Yeah. So, one very different question I have, and that's a very personal question that I wanted to ask you, and that is why I've put it here. So, I'll ask you that question here. That is it necessary for one to be happy from inside to spread the happiness, or you can be okay doing in your life and then also you can spread happiness? I mean, how is it?
It depends what do we call as spreading happiness. It depends how
Yes.
we see it, because there are people who are very, let's say, altruistic, and they're saying, oh, nothing for me but
Right.
everything for others. But then I think it's very hard to pour
Yes.
for an empty cup. And I do believe, like, when we really start taking care of ourselves, our mind, body, and soul, this is where we become whole, right? And this is where we become fulfilled. And this is where our real impact comes. Because, of
Right.
course, you can serve others, but then imagine how much more you
Right.
can give when you are feeling fulfilled.
When you do. Yes, yeah. I mean, you're not fulfilled from within, so you might give, but then you need some kind of energy backing you up as well. So I think that is where your own intrinsic
That is
happiness
true.
comes
Because some
into
people think
place.
like, oh, if I focus on my happiness, I'm selfish. You know? Well, okay, I'm selfish.
Yeah.
That's my life to live, right? I have only one life for now in
Right.
this
Right.
body, right? Whatever we believe in. But with these
Right.
thoughts, with this situation, I have one life.
Right.
I am I'm born alone. I'm gonna die
Right.
alone in a way. And I only have me. So why don't I just work on me to be in peace, to be grateful for myself, so that I
Yes.
can do a better job outside as well?
Right. Right, right. So I got a perspective. Thank you, Greta, for this answer.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And can you tell me, happiness? We've discussed a lot about happiness, but can you tell us on what steps? I mean, if I ask you to grade happiness, success, and leadership, so where will you, prioritize them, and how will you put that?
You mean in my life or overall?
Generally, I mean, for everyone.
Hmm. I probably wouldn't. Mhm.
Because in our lives, because in both of our lives, I think we'll prioritize and put happiness first.
Yeah, but like for others, I think, as it said, you do you, whatever serves you. And I don't think I'm such
Right,
kind of spiritual or non-spiritual guru to tell people exactly what should be their priorities, but I think we all need to understand that everything comes with consequences, and if how you live and what you prioritize serves you, perfect, go for it, whatever it is, right?
right,
But if it doesn't serve you and you still choose it,
right.
and you're like in this burdened field of, I hate my life, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. I hate my life and I'm not doing. I'm like,
Yeah,
listen, why? Do you want to live your rest of your life like that? So I would say it's up to people,
like
and it's
that.
all very related, right? Because when we talk about leadership, you can
Mm-hmm.
have this self leadership skill where you lead your life, right? When you're committed to yourself, when you're
Right.
accountable to yourself, when you're caring for yourself. So I think it's very
Mm-hmm.
interconnected. And the success,
Right.
I don't like this word. I mean, it's too much of that. Be successful,
Yeah.
hustle, climb the career ladder.
I don't like this word hustle. Believe me, I really don't like this word hustle. I don't know why, but I never liked it. It's never a part of me. I mean, why to struggle? Hustle is basically, just
Exactly.
to
I think
struggle,
people should
struggle,
Google
and
what does hustle
and
actually mean, right? Because it became a trend to say, I'm
right.
busy and I hustle. I'm like, how's your health then? I'm like, oh, I'm
Hustler.
overworking. And people are
Wow.
proud. They're putting these badges, I'm overworking. I don't think there is anything
Yes.
to be proud of. Start managing your life.
Right. Right. And some good ways to have. So Google it. What good ways you can,
Google is
manage your
gold, but you know
life.
what Google can't do? Google can do these steps for you. It's only the first thing.
Exactly. No
Exactly. And,
execution
and
is
no
possible.
coaches, no mentors, no books, no courses. No matter how much money you invest, nobody else can take that step for you. It's your journey.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, kind of an eye-opening session, kind of an eye-opening session for many rather. Thanks, Reda. Okay, I have one question with you since you've been, leading a good workforce at Mind Valley and doing your own work as well. So, can you tell me what is that one leadership quality which is non-negotiable, which everyone should be having if they are planning to build up a successful business or maybe become an entrepreneur? What is that one non-negotiable quality that anyone should possess?
Uh, it might sound, yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
give
I'm
your
thinking, when
example.
I think about
Yeah.
my path as a leader, I think what has always been working is that I care for my people. I honestly care for people who I
Right.
work with. Because if it's not in place, I think everything else falls behind, right? Because I can be an amazing communicator, but if I don't care about my
Right.
people, I won't communicate to them from the place of love, right? Or heart or care. So I would say caring for people
Right.
you work with,
Right.
and then everything falls in places. Giving feedback and everything. You still can have constructive feedback sessions. You still can give them points to improve, but you're gonna talk that with so much different power
Yes.
just because you care about them. So
Right. And they also start becoming very, okay, fine. The person is bothered about me. So let me just do my best, give my best to them. And
that has been
that's how
working for
they
me,
also
but
think. Yeah.
I hope it can also work for others. But it hasn't failed me yet, to care about people hasn't failed me.
Yes, that
Thank
I
you.
can see you're
Thank
very
you.
loving and caring. Yeah, so that was a good part about it. Now, can you tell us, uh, do you believe in that concept, that life makes those things happen to you, and the things just fall in place sometimes? So, do you believe in that concept that it happens and you just have to
The
go with
more
the
I
flow?
live, the more I believe in it, and yeah, and I mean,
Oh,
it's not
is
like,
it? Can you
yes.
give us an
So, for example,
example?
I was supposed to have a very important conversation at work, and the person with whom I was supposed to talk got sick. So I wasn't able to do that. And at first I thought
Right,
I need to push it.
right,
I need to, what do I need to do? And I was like so bothered by that in my head. And then also I got
right.
like dentist appointment, 2 or 3 days ago, where I'm still can't like fully
Oh,
smile or so.
okay,
And I was like, wait, is this a sign to slow down maybe, and not
okay.
to push that conversation? And then I just decided
Yes.
to step back, and the way I still haven't had this conversation, but the way I'm feeling about that and the way other things are unfolding for me, it's just so smooth. It's just so easy. So I wouldn't say to
Right.
just surrender to challenges and say, oh, okay, it's raining. I'm not going to do anything. It's not about that. It's more like doing what you can, what it's your control. But if you see it's not working out, also trying to ask
Right.
yourself, what is it trying to tell me? What is it trying to teach me? Because I do believe if we have a lot of optimism, not positivity, but optimism, when we believe that tomorrow is going to be okay, or like in a few hours it's going to be okay, this faith, and that's why people,
Right.
it's said that people who are more religious, they're actually a bit happier because they have the belief, right? They have the faith. And then I
Right.
couldn't call myself religious, but I call
Right.
myself spiritual, not at super high level maybe. But the more faith we have for life, that it's all gonna be all right, I think the smoother the process is going.
Yes. Yes. And you have this faith, and there's one thing about faith: you have
I would say
it
it's
or
not
you
like you
don't
have
have
it, it's
it.
probably you choose to have it or you choose not to have it. I think
Yeah.
because people say,
Yes.
oh, but I have to
Not to
see
have
it.
it.
No, believe it before you see it. No, just believe that it's meant to be good for you.
Yes. Yes. And things will fall in place, and then you have to believe that, okay, no matter what I'm going through, whatever is happening in my life, I know that someone has my back, God has my back. So yeah, that kind of a perception that you have, that faith that you have, will take you from here to here. This was all about happiness. Is there one advice that you want to give to anyone? I mean, someone who's just out of high school, or maybe just out of college, or maybe just fresher in at a place in office, and yes, and they are new to they are new to those places, and coming somewhere from, you don't belong to, like, from when you shift from high school to college, then when you shift from college to office, where you never were before. So can you give them a, advice? I mean,
Mm.
what is that they should be doing?
I would say at the end of the day, they should be true to themselves. Because so many times when we enter a new
Right.
place, we try to fit in, but the opposite of fitting in is to belong, right?
Exactly.
If we want to belong, actually, I do believe that we should bring our authentic
Right.
selves and who we really are. And maybe it can be hard, while being yourself to be in that environment, but that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. Maybe it's not the environment to grow. And same with plants, right? If
Right.
the flower is not blooming and growing in certain environment, we don't blame the flower. We're saying that, the environment was not maybe well
Right.
kept or watered enough. So the same is with us.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so you reminded me of a
So
sunflower.
lovely.
So it was going, while you were
Oh,
speaking, there were
thank you
flowers
so
going in my
much.
head. Lots of
Love it.
sunflowers. Yeah, and that was so nice conversation with you, Greta. I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it. Believe me, it was more like talking to you, talking to a sister next door, and trying to figure out what happiness is all about. And you know what? One thing I love
Thank you.
you in yellow, and yes, somehow, yeah, it resonates with you really a lot. So keep that up. And you know what? I'm waiting
I
for
don't
one
know.
of your
I
books to
haven't
come.
planned that yet. Thank you. I got goosebumps
I
just
have
now.
planned it for
Yeah.
you.
Maybe it's a time.
Oh, yeah. Yes, maybe it's a sign,
Thank you,
and I
Kritis.
know you'll do great with that. So, yes, of course. And, the entire discussion was about happiness and how to achieve happiness. It depends on each person's perspective, and it depends upon your surroundings as well. It depends upon what's going inside and inside. So it depends a lot on various other factors. And I've been great, and I have been blessed today that we got together and we had this session. It was a nice one. And one more thing, I truly believe what you people are
Thank
working
you,
for.
Kritis.
So I love Mind Valley. Before ending that, so the kind of work that you people are doing, it's awesome, and I wish you people all the best. I wish Greta all the best for everything in her life and achieve the success
That is so
in a
beautiful,
way
Kriti.
which
That is a
makes you
perfect
happier.
ending. Thank you so much. All the best for you and for this podcast and for people who are listening to it. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. And if you want to know more about happiness, I just forgot, you can, join Greta on LinkedIn and look for her happiness programs. So that is one thing that you can do. If you still think that you want to know more about happiness, get coached about it, facilitate that process, then you can
Yeah, or
connect with
Instagram as
Greta
well.
on
Or
LinkedIn.
Instagram as well.
It's, yeah, or Instagram as well. And then when she did this, I remembered,
I
give
like
me,
how
that
your
song was just
creativity works. I love it.
all over my mind.
No. Like your creativity in your mind. Because it's
This one at the
sunflowers,
back.
songs. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do the actions and it comes to me, or maybe you're speaking and my mind goes there, right? The imagination just goes.
Indeed.
We all are like a part of our imaginations. Yeah. Thank you so much, Greta, for being on the podcast. Thank you for the differences of time lag and still being able to manage it. I wish you all the best for your career. I wish you all the best for your life. I wish you all the best for your happiness programs, and keep doing more. And yes, I totally vouch for whatever you're doing, and I'm sure it's going to be great if people listen to it. And with
Thank you
this,
so
we
much.
end the podcast, and it was lovely meeting you.